right. You know how we do. Rep your city, rep your city. Positive energy all the time. Here we go. The beautiful Kathy Wilson is here representing Shreveport, where big things are popping. Everybody on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. I am representing Chicago, Illinois. We got Buffalo, New York in the house. Come on in and rep your city. Salute, salute. We got the UK in the building. Big things going on in the UK. Do I have anybody here from Atlanta, Georgia, where the fires are a little bit out of control? The fires are out of control. The fires are out of control. If you have family in Georgia, check on them. If you haven't talked to them in a while, check on them, check on them, check on them. The way the news is talking, it don't look like they know what to do. The fire seems abnormal, and the drought seems abnormal. I know I'm 68 years old, and I haven't heard anything about Georgia having problems with fires like that. We got Atlanta, Georgia in the house right here. They say when y'all got up yesterday was smoke everywhere, that the city of Atlanta could smell the smoke. Is that true? Salute, salute to everybody in London. Is that true, Will? It looks like a super catastrophe. It doesn't seem like they want to talk about it. It doesn't look like they know what to do. I've been checking the news. Will says he's seen the smoke over the city. I've been checking the news. And this is what the news is saying. It's a beast. It's a monster. That's what the news is saying. It's a beast. It's a monster. Those are pretty serious words. Real talk. I have no idea what you're talking about. As of this morning, it's at 34,000 acres. Whoa. Oh, boy. I don't know about the rest of you all, but the weather has been I'm not sure what word I want to use, but the weather has been very upset over the last 5 years, especially the last 3 years. I don't know if everybody sees what I'm seeing, but the weather has been bad globally. It's been, it's been looking abnormal globally for about 5 years. And then over the last 3 years, that has been made more obvious. I'm not sure if anybody's recognizing that, but I see it. But I was born in 1958, so I know how the cycle goes. And it doesn't go like this. I was born in Chicago in 1958. And one thing you always had to do in December, you had to buy boots. Every year, faithfully, it's going to snow from around 2 days before, anywhere from 2 days before Christmas to Christmas Day, somewhere in there, even if it's just sprinkles. And then it's on. And you don't really see the ground much until you get close to the end of February, early March. In other words, snow. Lots of snow. You have to have boots. I haven't had a pair of boots. I haven't had to have any boots on. We haven't gotten any snow. Like it snowed once this winter. I think that was February, maybe. But the snow we got was the baby type of snow we would get at like the end of December, like, the pre-snow. I might get up, a couple inches, a little snow. They might have to come put a little salt down, but we haven't got the snow up to our shins that I could remember. I don't even own a pair of boots. I'm trying to tell them, PJ. I'm trying to tell them. Do you know, PJ? I haven't had to wear any winter clothes. I haven't had to wear any winter clothes. Maybe some long underwear here and there. It haven't even gotten below zero in January. It hasn't. It'd be like sometime 40 degrees in January and February. That's unheard of. Unheard of. In Chicago on the lake, do you know how much colder it is in the winter on a big lake like Lake Michigan? They can't have the ice skating. You don't see any sledding. Nobody's been on a sled. No sleds are for sale. No ice skates is for sale. No winter clothes. Like no winter clothes. I'm just wearing sneakers all year round. That's unheard of. When I was growing up, if you wore sneakers, I got the high tops, snow would be all down in there. You know what I mean? Snow would be falling down in your sneakers. It's just unbelievable. And it's kind of like, I'm not sure. Exactly. And St. Louis almost gets the back end of what we get. And it's kind of like there's a new generation being born that don't know because the weather has been messed up now. Oh, for a long time. Like we haven't had normal weather since I think the 90s. I don't think we've had any normal weather in the 2000s at all. Like I don't think we haven't had any normal weather since like the 90s. But it was to the point where people are kind of ignoring it because it was still getting cold some. It was still getting cold some. It was still snowing some. But you could tell it was going down, but it wasn't enough for nobody to pay attention. Like I had to shovel my car out. Like I guess 4 years ago. I think 4 years ago I had to shovel my car out. We had the high snow. I had to put on some high boots. And so that next year, 3 years ago, I bought one of these small shovels to put in the back of my car that you unfold. I seen it at the hardware store. I was getting some at the hardware store, so I bought the small shovel. Because I had to borrow one from somebody on the block because I didn't have one in the car. So that next year I was going to be ready. Do you know that shovel is just back there? Can you believe that? Like that shovel has never been needed for the last 3 years. Not last year, the year before, and I don't think the year before that. I think it was like 4 years ago. No snow. Zero. I think we had one snow this year, like one in the city of Chicago. That is totally unbelievable. So Atlanta is having this fire. So Scott Griffin, president and CEO of Superior Pine Products Company, said the fire is creating conditions rarely seen in his more than 40 years fighting wildfires. Said 40 years, you haven't seen that. Griffin said fires of this size can create their own weather and wind patterns, making containment extremely difficult. The fire is jumping fire lanes and spotting, he said, with firefighters working around the clock to control it. The fire has been spotting ahead of the main fire line, creating new fires that require additional fire breaks. The blaze has crossed toward the Suwannanochee River near the Cinch and Ecoles County line. So he's talking fireman talk, but I guess what he's saying, spotting, I guess he means a big fire and it'll jump over there and it'll be a spot and then that'll turn into a crazy fire. And the way they're talking, straight up, dollar sign on everything else, straight up. But y'all notice now, it's really getting kind of scary. I'll give you an example. Last year, because I got children that live all over the state, right? And stepchildren. And the tornadoes, I've never seen that before. They were just coming across, 8, 7, at an angle from the west across the southern tip of Illinois and then going up to, I think, Indiana and all the states east of Illinois, and wrecking everybody south of Illinois, like Tennessee, Kentucky. I mean, we just had one come through here not too long ago. They're getting closer and closer to Chicago. We had one go through a suburb here, 2 weeks ago? Like crazy. And then Georgia and Florida got extreme droughts. Droughts and wind-fueled fires are spreading across Georgia and Florida. Dozens of families have lost homes in southern Georgia, and thousands more are being threatened. Smoke is even impacting air quality hundreds of miles away in Atlanta and Jacksonville and in South Carolina. The smoke. Now, this is not normal. I've been saying it. This is not normal. Now, watch how many people come over here and say, it's intentional. It's intentional. Every time I've been talking about this, I get people saying it's intentional. And they're going to keep saying it's intentional until the system that they claim is doing it catches on fire. There is no way, no system would do this. It doesn't make any sense that a government would do that. Why would a government do something that's uncontrollable? It's not controllable. It could tank the economy. Bad enough natural disasters could put you in a situation where you could be invaded by other countries without a thing to do about it. But I'm sure before I finish, people are going to come and say, it's intentional. They, I don't know who the hell they is. But they, nowadays, everything concerning the weather has been highly underreported for sure for the last 3 years. They've been underreported. As a matter of fact, you know, you can repost on Instagram. So I was reposting all these storms from this certain weather channel. And they started flagging them. Not only did they start flagging them, that channel, I don't see it anymore. And it was a channel showing natural disasters like all over the world, that like in the Philippines and in small countries in Africa and small countries in small areas in China and small countries in Asia, where this stuff is happening constantly. Look, man, right now, I bet you right now, over the last month, we would be surprised how many natural disasters has happened on the planet, and they didn't tell us nothing about it. It's happening like crazy. The same thing in Hawaii. They said the government did not do that. They got old electrical systems. They had an extreme drought and high winds. And this is going to be happening more and more and more and more and more. Then the year before last, the whole Canada was on fire. 400 fires. Fast they put 10 out, 20 more start. The smoke was all the way in New York. Between these wars and Mother Nature, it's like being between angels and demons. I ain't gonna lie. It's like the people are between demons and angels. Angels are mad, so they want to tear the system up because the system is negative. And the demons is tearing it up, not knowing they're going to destroy themselves. You think to yourself and you say, do these people know what they're doing? They could not possibly know what they're doing. I give you a perfect example. All these bombs they dropping. But they're not aware they dropping them on the planet they live on. So they're just dropping these bombs on their own house, basically. Like the earth is our house, right? And so we all live in a big house. So I say you the enemy, you the Iranians, or you the Americans. You down in the fifth room down there. So I try to blow the fifth room up because you live in the fifth room. Not knowing if I blow it up too bad, I blow the whole house up. That's what's going on with the United States. And look, yes, bombs used in war can affect the weather, primarily through massive smoke injection into the atmosphere from city firestorms, which can cause significant short-term global cooling, while conventional bombing has minimal long-term global climate effects. Widespread nuclear war could create a nuclear winter, lowering global temperatures and disrupting rainfall. Now, look, this is Google, and even Google don't know what it's talking about. Because look, it told a big lie. It said while conventional bombing has minimal long-term global climate effects. That's a lie. That's a lie. What is minimum bombing? That's false. It says minimum bombing. You're still blowing up the planet. It could crack. You can open up a hole down there, a cave, and let something out that's supposed to stay down in there. It might be certain creatures that's down in the ground that's supposed to live there. That's where they live, and they in there and they can't get out. You get to fighting another human being, blow a big hole, and now they come out. You know, people just can't admit that they don't know what they're doing. The people that's running this planet, I'm telling you right now, they got the world thinking they smart. Man, one day people gonna realize the people that run this planet, these big militaries and these presidents and these people are dumber than a rock. I'm telling you. They don't have a clue. And that's one reason when it's a natural disaster, they don't do nothing because they don't know what to do. We painting these people like they gods or goddesses, and they're not. As a matter of fact, these politicians that run this world are dumber than the citizens. I'm telling you, we got citizens that's could do a way better job than these people that use their money and their influence to get in power. The people that could really run this place don't have the money because money don't make you smart. A lot of times money make you dumb because you could pay somebody to take your test. You could cheat. You have to know nothing. We are looking at a disaster because Georgia and Florida are having droughts, and Florida's about to run out of water, and it looks like Georgia probably is too. That's what it looks like. Because even when you go as far as out west, They don't have no water. They don't have no water. They're running out of water. In Florida. And Florida and Georgia share water. Extreme drought across Florida expands by just over 50% in 1 week. Last week, 43.4% of the state was covered by extreme drought. This week, 67.39% of the state are seeing extreme drought conditions. The data centers are definitely making it worse because the data centers are using 100 million gallons a day and they're building them like it's not no tomorrow. They're putting data centers everywhere. They're putting data centers everywhere. And they're using up 100 million gallons of water, which causes environmental problems. You can't make this up. And now we're looking at the whole West Coast possibly running out of water. Because of the Colorado River. Colorado River is running dry. Colorado River is running dry. And 7 states out there, they got to bid for water. They have to bid for water. Arizona's got a water shortage. They telling people you might have to take 15-minute shower. As of February 2026, there are no statewide mandatory legal enforcement shower time limits in Florida residents. However, due to severe drought conditions, water managers of South Florida and Tampa Bay are urgently asking residents to voluntarily reduce water usage, including limiting shower times and laundry. Seriously. And those states got to bid for water because the Colorado River, the dam is about to go off. The Colorado Dam is about to run out of water. If it goes a little bit lower, it's going to turn off. They ain't telling nobody that either. If the water gets a little lower, the dam's going to go out and like 5 to 7 states won't have no electricity. The Colorado River is in a severe long-term crisis due to a 20-year mega drought, rising temperatures, and over allocation, with flows dropping 20% over the past century. Major reservoirs like Lake Mead and Lake Powell hit historic lows, threatening water for 40 million people and agriculture. With 2026 negotiations failing to secure a new sharing deal. So they're arguing and fighting over how they share the water. They said California is the oldest state, so they get water off the top, and the rest of the states will have to fight for theirs. The rest of the states will have to fight for theirs. Real talk. No kidding. They're going to have a bid war for who could get water and how much. If the Colorado River dries up, 40 million people across 7 U.S. states and Mexico would lose a primary water source, causing a catastrophic crisis. Agriculture, 80% of the uses would collapse, causing major food shortages, while major cities like Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles would face severe water rationing, power cuts from the Hoover Dam, and mass migration. I did a whole live on that. Go check it out. It's too much to repeat. I just can't. It's too stressful to even talk about it. Water and food crisis. Approximately 40 million people rely on this river. Without it, the Southwest faces severe water shortages, potentially forcing cities to restrict water usage heavily. Agriculture in California, Arizona, and Nevada will face crippling shortages affecting food supplies for the nation. Infrastructure collapse. By 2027, key reservoirs like Lake Mead and Lake Powell could fall below dead pool levels, meaning water can no longer flow through the dams. This would halt hydroelectric power production at the Hoover Dam, which supplies power to 1.3 million people. So if the Hoover Dam gets a little bit lower and it goes into dead pool, 1.3 million people won't have any power. Economic and social disruption. Arizona alone could lose over 2 million jobs. So that's what it is. I'm going to keep my eye on the fire. But somebody's going to have to do something about this system and the way they deal with nature. You can't disrespect nature. You can't throw the planet off and think that we're going to be able to grow food and have water. Don't make no sense. So everybody in Atlanta, keep us informed. Everybody in Georgia, everybody in Florida, and everybody on the West, keep us informed. Come into the chat sometime and let us know what's going on with your water situation. Because Mother Nature, she ain't really liking us right now. Mother Nature is rebelling. All right, victory.